How's it going, everybody? I just wanted to take a quick minute to make sure we're all on the same page in regard to the in-between. I want to make sure you understand the schedule of what's happening in between the 4 class periods that we have this summer in Anchored Discipleship 101. So our first class was on June 2nd. We got together, we did some vision casting, and we heard from John in regard to his testimony, David in regard to his heart and passion for discipleship and how he's been praying for it. And then I gave us just kind of the direction of the course and talked about the discipleship pathway. Our second class is July 14th. So this is going to be the longest in-between period that we have. So there will be just a little bit more work in the in-between than in the others. But sometime in between the 2nd and the 14th, you need to meet with your disciple maker for a one-on-one. So I'm just going to stick it right in the middle at June 23rd, which is 3 Sundays from the first class and 3 Sundays before the next. That means there's a period of time before the one-on-one and then before the second class. So, what are we going to do in that period of time? You've had some prep work sent out to you in regard to Jesus, the gospel, and saving faith. And we're going to post some videos in regard to these as well to help you work through those passages of Scripture. So that would mean you have a little bit less than 3 weeks to do that prep work so that you can walk into that one-on-one and not have to discuss every question of that with your disciple maker. But in the in-between, and we'll call this 1A, this would be 1B. In 1A, if you don't understand something in John chapter 3, call your disciple maker. Talk to them about it. Maybe meet with them an additional time. We're requiring you to meet together once in each in-between, but many people are meeting once a week. Maybe you hadn't considered that before and are thinking about it now. It's an excellent idea. Consistency is key, and it will help you to trust your disciple maker and help in your willingness to open up to them sooner. But in 1A, you've got some prep work that will get you ready for what we're going to do in the one-on-one, for the personal conversation you're going to have and the lab that you're going to do. And so you want to make sure you really dive into this, reflect on the Scripture, pray over it, meditate on it, do some memorization if you would like to, and answer those questions, because you don't want the time with your disciple maker, especially if you're just meeting one time in the in-between, to be centered around making sure you got all of those questions. And now maybe there's going to be an instance where you really feel like that is necessary, and that is fine. But I think as a general rule of thumb, you want to make sure you get this stuff in the preparation time so that what you've learned, what the Scripture has been speaking into your heart during 1A, the Spirit can use in conversation during the one-on-one. Whereas if you're just still striving for understanding during the one-on-one, you won't be able to get as far into your heart and into conversation as you would if you came in with a more sturdy understanding. For the first one-on-one, I imagine your disciple maker has told you need to bring a childhood picture of yourself. And that will play into what we're doing in the one-on-one for your first lab that we've gotten from Small Circle Ministry. It's going to be awesome. I think you're going to enjoy it, and it will be helpful for you to tell your story to your disciple maker. After the one-on-one, you're going to get another email that will have a document with some reflection questions and also some prep to get your mind just kind of spinning and, well, not spinning, that would be bad. Your mind just starting to get the gears moving as we move into class 2 on the 14th of July and talk about the posture of the disciple as servant who is surrendered and reliant upon Jesus. So you have another 3 weeks in 1B to do this reflection and a little bit of prep. And again, you want to come into class 2, just like you did with your one-on-one, having understanding, having really reflected on the one-on-one, what you discussed, and given the Lord some room to really work in your heart. And think about it as well on the 14th, first 10 or 15 minutes, we're going to devote just to hearing some testimony of what the Lord has been doing in your guys' hearts and your relationships and through your disciple maker. I want to hear from you. How's the Lord been working already in your disciple's heart for you disciple makers? So I hope this is helpful. I hope this will give you some understanding on it. Just to look at it again. So we've had our class 2. We're in the middle of 1A right now, where you're going to be preparing for your one-on-one. Oops. The one-on-one is going to happen, say, June 23rd is, again, this is just an example date because it was smack dab in the middle. You do that, and then as you get ready for class number 2, you're going to have some reflection to mull over what you've learned here and to get you ready for class 2. And that same cycle then just repeats for the remainder of the time. So class 2 will be on the 14th. We'll have that class time and look at disciple as servant. Then you'll have some prep work to get ready for your one-on-one and some reflection from the one-on-one and prep for class 3. And then it starts over again and once again in 4. And you'll conclude with a one-on-one and just some final thoughts, and where you're going to go from here. What's the next steps? What are you planning on next? So that's where we're going. I hope that's helpful and gives you a better grasp on the structure of Anchored Discipleship one-on-one for this summer. See you guys soon.